3 doors, 1 has a car, 2 have goats. You pick one. A host, who knows what's behind each door, opens another, always revealing a goat, and offers you a chance to switch. The correct answer, switch. Every time. Switching wins the car twice as often as staying. Most people refuse to believe this. So did thousands of mathematicians with PhDs. So, eventually, did Paul Erdos, one of the most prolific mathematicians of the 20th century. For the next 8 minutes, we're going to follow the math, one step at a time, and see exactly why your brain refuses to accept the answer. The puzzle is named after Monty Hall, the real host of the American TV game show Let's Make a Deal. The show ran from 1963 to 1990. On the show, contestants regularly face choices between closed doors, keep what you have, or trade it for what might be behind curtain number 2. The formal puzzle was first published by statistician Steve Selvin in the academic journal The American Statistician in 1975. It became famous 15 years later. In 1990, Marilyn Vaughn saw Savant, a writer whose entry in the Guinness Book of World Records for highest recorded IQ had made her a household name in the 1980s, published the correct answer in her weekly Parade magazine column. The rules of the game are simple. 3 doors. Behind one, a car. Behind the other 2, goats. You pick a door. You don't open it. Then the host, who knows exactly what's behind every door, opens one of the 2 doors you didn't pick. He always opens a door with a goat behind it, never the car. And now he offers you a choice. Stay with your original door, or switch to the other closed one. Before we follow the math, most people, including professional mathematicians, believe these rules lead to a 50-50 situation. Let's see why they're wrong. 2 doors are left. 1 has the car, 1 has the goat. 50-50, right? That's what almost everyone thinks. It feels obvious. 2 options, 1 winner. The odds have to be even. It feels like the most basic probability problem in the world. If you felt that just now, notice the feeling, because you're about to watch the most counterintuitive moment in probability theory. The answer is not 50-50. It's 2/3 versus 1/3. And the only way to see why is to count every possible outcome, carefully, one at a time. Let's count every case. To keep it simple, you always pick door 1. The car can be behind door 1, door 2, or door 3. 3 cases, each equally likely. Case 1. The car is behind door 1, the one you picked. The host opens door 2 or door 3. Doesn't matter which. Both have goats. If you stay, you win. If you switch, you lose. Case 2. The car is behind door 2. The host cannot open door 1. That's your pick. He cannot open door 2. That's the car. He must open door 3. If you switch to door 2, you win. If you stay, you lose. Case 3. The car is behind door 3. Same logic. The host is forced to open door 2. Switching wins. Staying loses. 3 cases. Switching wins in 2 of them. Staying wins in 1. 2 out of 3. 1 out of 3. Not 50-50. 2/3. Here's another way to see it. When you first picked, you had a 1 in 3 chance of being right. That means 2 in 3 chance the car was somewhere in the other 2 doors. The host opening a goat door doesn't change that 2/3. It just concentrates it onto the 1 remaining door. If 3 doors still feels wrong, here's the same game with 100 doors. 100 doors. Behind one of them is a car. You pick one. Your chance of being right, 1 in 100. Now the host opens 98 of the other 99 doors. Every single one is a goat. 2 doors are left, yours. And 1 other door the host very carefully left closed. Do you stay with your 1 in 100 guess? Or switch to the door the host just pointed at? When there are 100 doors, your brain does the right thing automatically. You switch. Of course you switch. The host just handed you the car. That's exactly the same math as 3 doors. 1 in 100, 1 in 3. Same structure, same answer. It feels obvious at 100. It feels impossible at 3. Same math. When Savant published her answer in September 1990, the response was immediate and furious. She received approximately 10,000 letters disagreeing with her. Nearly 1,000 of them were signed by people with PhDs, many on university letterhead. One letter from a mathematics professor at George Mason University opened with just 2 words: "You blew it." Another from the University of Florida complained that there was enough mathematical illiteracy in America already without, quote, "the world's highest IQ propagating more." A third from Palm Beach Junior College informed her that their math department had, quote, "a good self-righteous laugh at her expense." She was right. They were wrong. And eventually, most of them admitted it, though most did it quietly, without writing retractions. But one of the most persistent skeptics wasn't a letter writer at all. 5 years later, in 1995, the Hungarian-American mathematician Andrew Vaj-Oni casually mentioned the problem to his friend, Paul Erdos. Erdos was one of the most prolific mathematicians in history. He published over 1,500 papers in his lifetime, collaborating with more than 500 other mathematicians along the way. When Vasoni told him the correct answer was switch, Erdos refused to believe it. He argued for days. He only changed his mind when Vasoni ran a computer simulation of the game, 100,000 trials. The result, switching wins, 2 times out of 3. If you got this wrong, you are in excellent company. This problem doesn't reveal who's smart. It reveals which parts of probability our brains evolved to handle. The real lesson of Monty Hall isn't about doors. It's about information. The host knows where the car is. His choice to open a goat door isn't random. It's carefully constrained. And that constraint transfers information to you, the player. Here's the proof. Imagine the host didn't know where the car was and opened a random door, sometimes accidentally revealing the car. In that version of the game, the one where the host is just as clueless as you, the math actually is 50-50. Random host, 50-50. Knowing host, 2/3. The gap between those 2 numbers is the entire puzzle. This is what mathematicians call Bayesian reasoning. Updating your beliefs when new information arrives. Every fact you learn changes the odds of everything else. Probability isn't just about outcomes. It's about who knows what and when. Last week, we saw your brain count linearly. In a quadratic world, 23 people, 50% coincidence. This week, your brain treated information as neutral in a loaded one. 3 doors, 2/3 advantage. Both are the same kind of failure. Not because you're bad at math, because the math was never the point. Probability is what happens when your brain meets a universe that doesn't share your assumptions. So here's the real question. How many of your current beliefs feel 50-50 only because you haven't yet counted who knows what? 3 doors, 1 car, switch 1 in 3, 2 in 3, every time. Every week, another paradox, another impossible idea that turns out to be true. Subscribe. Next week, Russell's paradox, the question that broke mathematics in 1901 and has never been fully answered.